At the party, the champagne flute shattered against the hardwood floor, a jagged scream of glass that silenced the laughter and chatter of the party. My hand trembled. The ring box still clutched in my fist, its velvet surface slick with sweat. Sarah's words hung in the air like smoke. "I'd rather stay single than marry you." Her voice, sharp and unsteady, cut through the haze of music and clinking glasses. 50 pairs of eyes turned toward us, the room a frozen tableau of sequined dresses and half-drunk cocktails. My chest tightened, as if the air had been sucked out of the loft. I couldn't look at her. Not yet. Not when a rejection felt like a blade twisting in my gut. The party was supposed to be perfect. A Brooklyn rooftop, fairy lights strung across exposed brick, the city skyline glittering like a promise. I'd spent weeks planning this, choreographing the moment I dropped to one knee in front of our friends, her sister, even her boss. The ring, a delicate band with a sapphire her mother once wore, had burned a hole in my pocket all night. I'd rehearsed the words 100 times. "Sarah, you're my home, my future. Will you marry me?" Simple, honest. But now, her refusal echoed in my skull, and the weight of those eyes, curious, pitying, judgmental, pressed down on me. She stood there, her emerald dress catching the light, her arms crossed tightly as if shielding herself from me. Her hazel eyes, usually warm, were glassy, darting toward the floor. "Evan," she whispered, barely audible over the thumping bass I had resumed. "I'm sorry. I can't." Her voice cracked, and for a moment I thought I saw guilt flicker across her face. But then she turned, her heels clicking as she wove through the crowd toward the balcony door. I should have stayed still. Should have let the moment pass, let the party swallow the humiliation. But my feet moved before my brain caught up, the ring box still in my hand as I followed her. The cool night air hit me like a slap as I stepped onto the balcony. Sarah leaned against the railing, her silhouette framed by the city's glow. The distant hum of traffic mingled with the muffled music from inside. But out here, it was just us. Or so I thought. "Sarah, what the hell was that?" My voice came out rougher than I meant, raw with the sting of her words. She didn't turn around. Her shoulders tensed, and she gripped the railing so hard her knuckles whitened. "I meant it," she said, her voice low, almost swallowed by the wind. "I can't marry you." "Why?" The word felt like gravel in my throat. We've been together 3 years. We've talked about this, kids, a house, growing old. Was that all a lie? She finally faced me, her expression a tangle of emotions I couldn't unravel. Fear, sadness, something darker. "It wasn't a lie," she said, her voice trembling. "I loved you. I still do. But I can't do this." Her words didn't make sense. They were a puzzle with missing pieces, and my mind raced to fill in the gaps. I stepped closer, the ring box heavy in my hand. "Then explain it, because I just humiliated myself in front of everyone we know, and you're acting like I'm a stranger." Her gaze flicked to the side, toward the glass door where shadows of partygoers moved like ghosts. "I didn't want this to happen," she whispered. "Not like this." The vagueness of her words ignited a spark of unease in my chest. I'd seen her act like this before, evasive, guarded, when she'd started working late nights at the ad agency 6 months ago. She'd come home smelling faintly of cigarette smoke, though she didn't smoke. Her phone would buzz at odd hours, and she'd silence it without a glance. I'd brushed it off, chalked it up to stress, to her ambitious new boss, Marcus, who always seemed to linger too close at company events. But now, standing on this balcony, those small moments felt like warning signs I'd ignored. Is there someone else? The question slipped out before I could stop it, low and dangerous. Her flinch was answer enough, a tiny crack in her composure that set my heart plummeting. "No," she said too quickly, her eyes wide. "Evan, it's not like that." "Then what is it like?" I snapped, my voice rising. The ring box felt like a lead weight now, and I shoved it into my pocket. "You've been distant for months. The late nights, the texts you don't explain, the way you look at me like I'm not enough." Her lips parted, but no words came. The silence was deafening, heavier than the city noise below. My mind spiraled. replaying every moment I dismissed. Her laughter with Marcus at the agency's holiday party, the way she'd started wearing perfume again, a scent I didn't recognize. I wanted to believe her, to cling to the love we'd built, but doubt gnawed at me, sharp and relentless. "Tell me I'm wrong," I said, stepping closer. "Look me in the eyes and tell me there's no one else." She met my gaze, but her eyes were wet, her lashes trembling. "Evan, She stopped, swallowing hard. "I never meant to hurt you." The words were a punch to the chest. Not a denial, not an explanation, just a confession dressed up as an apology. My knees buckled, and I gripped the railing to steady myself. The metal was cold, biting into my palms, grounding me in the moment even as my world tilted. "Who is it?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. I didn't want to know, but I needed to. The question hung between us, sharp and unavoidable. She shook her head, tears spilling now. "It's not what you think. It was a mistake." A moment. I didn't mean for it to happen. A moment. My laugh was bitter, hollow. "You don't throw away 3 years for a moment, Sarah." Her silence was confirmation, and it burned. I turned away, staring out at the city, the lights blurring through the haze of my anger. I wanted to scream, to demand details, to know every second of her betrayal. But part of me, the part that still loved her, dreaded the truth. I could feel it, though, like a splinter under my skin. Marcus. His smug grin, his too familiar touches, the way he'd watch her when he thought no one noticed. Was it Marcus? I asked, my voice flat, detached. I didn't look at her. I couldn't. She didn't answer right away, and that was answer enough. When she finally spoke, her voice was small, broken. It was one time. I was drunk, and he was there. I stopped it, Evan. I swear I stopped it. I turned to her then, my chest tight with a mix of rage and heartbreak. "You stopped it? That's supposed to make this okay? You let him touch you, Sarah. You let him." My voice broke, and I hated myself for it. I hated the tears stinging my eyes, the way my hands shook. I wanted to be angry, not broken. "I'm sorry," she sobbed, reaching for me. I stepped back, and her hand fell to her side. "I didn't want this. I didn't want to lose you." "Then why didn't you tell me?" I shouted, the words ripping out of me. "Why let me stand there in front of everyone, thinking we had a future, when you'd already thrown it away?" She flinched again, wrapping her arms around herself. "I thought I could fix it. I thought if I pushed it down, we could still be us." Her words twisted the knife deeper. She'd known. She'd carried the secret, let it fester while I planned a life with her. The betrayal wasn't just the act. It was a lie, the months of pretending, the smile she'd fake while I was blind. The balcony door slid open, and I froze. Marcus stepped out, his suit jacket unbuttoned, a glass of whiskey in his hand. His eyes flicked between us, and for a split second, I saw it, guilt, panic, before he mastered with a casual smile. "Everything okay out here?" he asked, his voice smooth, like he hadn't just walked into a war zone. My blood boiled. I wanted to lunge at him, to wipe that smirk off his face. But Sarah's hand on my arm stopped me, her touch both familiar and foreign. "Evan, don't," she whispered, her voice pleading. I shook her off, my eyes locked on Marcus. Was it worth it? I asked, my voice low, dangerous. Was she worth it? His smile faltered, and he set the glass down on the railing. "I don't know what you're talking about," he said, but his eyes betrayed him, darting to Sarah for a fraction of a second. "Don't," I snapped. "Don't lie to me. Not now." The air was thick with tension, the city's hum a distant pulse. Sarah was crying silently now, her hands covering her face. Marcus opened his mouth, then closed it, his jaw tight. For a moment, no one spoke. Then he turned and walked back inside, leaving us alone with the wreckage. I looked at Sarah, the woman I'd loved, the woman I'd imagined growing old with. Her tears didn't soften me. Not this time. "You should have said no to him," I said, my voice cold. "And you should have said yes to me." I didn't wait for her response. I turned and walked back into the party, the ring box heavy in my pocket, the weight of her betrayal heavier still. As the door closed behind me, I heard her sob, a sound that would haunt me for years. But I didn't look back.